Greetings once more. So, have you been enjoying my tale of spies? Well, not quite. But it's always interesting to see a pirate go on a new kind of adventure. One where they experiment and do kinds of crazy things. And certainly a tale like this is a crazy one. So, our group here has done a good job of being spies. But the truth is, they've only just learned what they need to do. Will they be able to do it correctly? Will they fail horribly, which is the more likely outcome? Well, why don't you sit down, order some food and a drink, and we'll continue me tale, and we'll see if these pirates can indeed maybe do a slightly better job than we were all expecting. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Buccaneers Shackled Sea. That was an opening. It wasn't quite the opening I wanted, but it's fine. I only messed up a little bit. That's fine. It's only on fire.
Greetings.
I think if the narrator is gonna have an opinion, maybe he should try to, pull it himself.
Fucking exactly, right? I don't know who this narrator is, but we are literally very good at doing things.
Yeah, we're doing.
Look,
really
he's
good
creating suspense because then you're gonna not expect you to do things, and then when you do.
Look, Jacub's gonna find this man and create some suspense all over the goddamn bar.
Suspend him from life.
Mm-hmm.
I say we plunder the narrator.
Yeah.
How do we know that this isn't like
That's how we end the
Chester
game.
or Jacob, like years down the line?
Well, we know it's not Jacub because this man isn't socially awkward.
True.
Well, no, Jacob could have grown up. He's a half elf. He has many years left to live.
Yeah,
He gets a
Get out of it.
Oh, I'm just a wee boy, okay?
yeah, like
I got like 90 years left.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they live up to 120.
Yeah, but
You
this
got
is
rolled
Jacob we're
percentile list.
talking about.
He's the least likely to
Jacob's gonna
die.
go get eaten by some
probably
fucking
45.
monster and studying it.
Oh, you're 45. Damn, you're a boomer.
You're old.
What's what I'm saying? No, I'm saying like if 90 years is the max, probably 45 years in Jacob's line of work.
Jacob might just slip on a fucking banana peel and fall down the stairs. You never know.
Well,
Actually,
I mean,
he's
luckily
also
he'll have enough
five,
HP that won't kill
Put
him.
some respect on this
You say that, but I can make that kill you. Roll 50d6.
Yeah.
You somehow managed to hit your head in such a way you take a bajillion damage.
Fucking snap your neck.
I mean, like, rip.
man.
Another one.
My best life. Yeah, it's re-rolling.
Save versus deadly accident.
Yeah, I mean, if anything,
Reverse DM kill. You
look,
can't
like,
succeed.
if you hold a banana the right way and you squeeze it hard enough, it basically fucking shoots and puts a hole in your skull. That's what Diddy Kong taught me. So
I'm gonna take that one. That's an elephant.
Diddy Kong
just as a
taught me.
note for life, I don't think Diddy Kong is a good basis for your life.
Yeah, disagree. Go ahead and disagree with that one.
Well, you mean
that's
Nintendo would
fine.
lie to me that you can't kill someone with a
think
banana,
so.
or if a car hits a banana, it doesn't comically spin out and throw money out of it?
I'm just
And jumping
Putting
on
it out
triggers
there
to
to my
make them go
lawyer.
in your shell?
Are you gonna tell me that Reggie of Nintendo lied to me?
Reggie? He wouldn't.
He told all the truths. Don't worry about it.
Not Reggie.
Reggie is most truthful boy.
I personally really believed Nintendo back in 2003 when they said Mario would never shoot a hooker, so...
What? I don't remember that
Hey,
exactly.
is it a real thing that
I
happened?
think that was the realest that they ever were. They were so real when they said
That is a real quote from a Nintendo E3 press conference.
my face when Mario wouldn't do that. I knew the whole fucking time, guys.
What about Warrior?
Look, if
Warrior
there's anything I'm full of, it's vague.
All about
If there's
Wario.
anything I know, it's vague references to media from the 90s and early 2000s, right?
oddly specific, but I can accept it.
Yeah.
We salute you for this.
Anyway, so yeah, you were leaving a party. That was a very, very nice party, and heading back to whatever, heading back to the inn that you were staying at.
Yeah.
Because you had arranged for an inn.
Actually, I
Owned
think
by
we
a-
already were in the.
Yeah, we were in the end
walking.
discussing our plan, I believe is where we were at.
Okay.
Because we were talking about what we needed to do.
Yeah. I believe Yaalkol ordered a bunch of ale for himself, as he is wont to do.
Just a barrel.
He doesn't
a
get
keg.
very drunk very often. That is the thing. He just drinks a lot and
He's
doesn't get drunk.
basically a dwarf, but taller.
And not resistant to poison.
No.
No,
at all.
it's a very high fortitude save.
He's,
I've been
he's
vulnerable
actually
to poison
two
if we put-
dwarfs.
He's two
He's
Never
actually
dwarfs.
forget-
two dwarfs standing on top of each other.
He's two
Never-
dwarfs. He's two dwarfs in a fursuit.
Never forget how weird it is. The more you adventure, the better you are at taking alcohol. This is just
No,
a
I
statistical fact.
I mean, that you needed to cope with all the horrible things you've seen and done.
I mean, you're not wrong about the need
Made
there.
me choose.
I mean, at least seen. You might not do horrible things, but
We've done horrible things.
oh no, we have, but not all adventurers
We
do
are
horrible
objectively terrible people.
things. No, we're bad people. We're not the worst people, but we're pretty bad.
Yeah, we kind of suck.
I mean, we literally rob people for a living.
We have burned at least 3 villages to the ground.
It's not even rob people in the way it's oh, taxes or theft. It's no, we've literally give us your stuff or we're gonna kill you right now.
I mean,
I
the
mean,
worst
as
thing
far
I can
as
think that
our-
we've done. Sorry,
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say the worst thing I could think that we've done since I've been here, at least, was probably
Mhm.
releasing that horrific monster.
I don't
That was
know.
pretty bad.
That's
there
the worst
was-
thing I think we've done. Period.
Yeah, no, that is
but,
in the cosmic scale. That is literally
Pretty bad.
the worst thing we've ever done. However, I would like to point to the fact that there was
We did
a wizard who
genocide.
did execute 2 people who surrendered, and we also did destroy an entire population of Cyclops.
The two
I'm gonna stand on what I did, okay?
the two people is whatever. That's a mistake. Minor war crimes. They were fighting, okay, but we did murder the entire adult population of a Sahagan village, if you
Yeah.
remember. That
Did
happened.
do that. They're
That was
assholes
pretty
anyway,
bad.
so
We committed
They deserve it.
one
They're monsters,
fucking
obviously.
war crime.
So are
Everyone
Cyclops.
loses their
this,
But-
this campaign has been a string of Geneva Convention violations.
It's been bad. But that's we are pirates, so we're not good people.
Switzerland doesn't exist in Pathfinder, so it's
It's
fine.
Geneva, they never invited
Well,
me.
actually, it does. Because Earth exists. Because you
That
go to
is true.
Russia.
You do go to Russia in one of the campaigns.
If you go to Russia, then you'll learn about the Geneva Convention. But
But
you
you
have to
do
visit.
go to Russia. You do
The
go to
best
Russia
part
during
is-
World War One.
The Geneva Convention hasn't been signed yet.
Yeah.
It was signed after World War One, I think, right?
Well, I mean,
My
like,
version is so broken because the
So-
Geneva Convention is inside.
look, it's technically been a
So we
few
can
years
stop
from
them
that
from
since
being
that
signed.
campaign. Even at this point, it's been a few years since that campaign. If we go a few more years after that, then the Geneva Convention will be signed when you go to Earth. There you go.
Anyways,
Anyway, after this conversation, it was Pathfinder related, I
it was
guess.
Pathfinder related.
Yeah, we're just talking about
On
bad
top-
war.
we stayed on topic. Good job, team.
Sort of.
I guess that's the plan, right? Is observe the weapon and then the naval office, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, and the plan specifically is I think we're just going to use seeming from Jacub, and then we're going to try to lie ourselves in there.
Presumably that will work.
We have no reason to suspect that they have all these buildings, protected from
Like,
illusions and
We
stuff.
can assume they have some base level common protections, but seeming's a pretty high level spell.
It's
I mean,
a
like,
level 5 or
I'm just gonna-
5 spells, so.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. So far, everywhere you've gone and us have gone, people have found out that we're not who we are.
That is mostly due to the fact
We're
that-
around high-level people.
I spent most of the time around Inquisitors, and also a a lot of you are very obvious. We're not very well hidden people.
Oh wow!
I'm actually quite
We
good
also
at being able
most
to.
you guys.
We also
Why?
aren't hidden by illusion most of the time.
Yeah,
You're
well,
in
I'm
physical
also
The guy who figured out who Misty was figured it out
Is it-
not by recognizing Misty, but recognizing the rest of you with Misty.
Yeah.
well, we weren't with her at the time.
Jacub was, and the other
yeah,
two, he did observe you when you came in.
Oh.
Remember? You were sent out?
Misty does have 18 in her disguise.
Yeah.
She's really
well,
good at hiding.
So that's
Guys,
why
it is a class skill, okay?
that's why he had to take a 20 basically to like size you up, and that's what he was doing.
I figured he was doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just not really known, so
No one
that's
knows,
fine.
no one really knows who you are. It's the three of us that are the problem.
I'm good at
You're
talking
wrong
myself
here.
out of situations, to be fair. But
Yes,
Okay,
I
you got
can't
two
help
of
the
us,
fact
right?
that something isn't a class skill.
it happens.
Like, I literally can't do it. So, you know,
I took a
I mean,
feat to have disguise as a class.
Yeah, but I took a feat for knowledge geography, okay? Is that ever going to come up? No. Was it
Right.
worth it? Probably not.
It does
Was it worth a
technically-
character reason? Yes.
It does
Exactly.
technically. It's come up before. It might come up again. I
Yeah.
mean, like, you can make the choices to have it be effective.
Yeah.
I
More
guess
but-
in the morning we will go observe a weapon,
All right.
or whenever that's supposed to happen.
It is happening sometime like mid-morning, so certainly you can relax for the evening and spend your days, the rest of your day, kind of enjoying some.
For the first time since a poker game with an asshole who was immune to alcohol, you will see her actually drink. And that, happened like 2 fucking years ago at this point.
Not long enough ago.
I'll get some more good whiskey.
All right.
That is what he was drinking is
well,
whiskey.
I guess before we
Like an
continue,
Ooh.
do we have any other ideas or plans for getting into this office, or do we think teaming and then my
think-
plus 14 bluff will get us through?
Steaming is good. I think it's the best bet because I don't think they'll have stuff to see through it.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but they might. Theoretically. But
Did
if they
we-
do, I think we just bust in there quickly and leave, right?
I mean, I'm thinking like our plan C could be like the Thieves Guild probably knows everything around here, right? So we can try to buy our way into it.
I could actually talk to the Thieves Guild contact forms instead of you guys do. To be fair.
And they did say they would get some more information for you if you would wait. So up to you on that one.
Depends because we should plan this heist very carefully. Like, we can't really scope it out because the docks are a hotly watched area, so.
Yeah.
Well, is there anyone that you would trust to go down there by themselves?
There's one thing I would trust. What is your familiar, Jacob?
The scorpion.
Can you turn it into?
You know,
Can
green scorpion boy.
you get a bird or something?
I can make it a bird. I absolutely can.
I
Can you
would,
change it?
Yeah, I'm a transmutation wizard. I can make it whatever I want.
Oh.
Just-
yeah. I
Okay.
would say if you could make your familiar a bird and then see through its eyes or whatever it does in this fucking game, to get more information that way of like visuals on the building, I think that would really help.
Okay.
'Cause We
But
don't.
how
We currently
conspicuous
don't
would it
know what
be?
this building looks like.
If I just made him invisible and gave him normal flight for like 8 hours, because I think making him to a bird doesn't last as long. But
That
like,
would also work, but it'd be really fucking disturbing.
Just a
it's a
floating
flying
scorpion.
invisible scorpion, dude. It's fine.
It's invisible, at least.
Why
Well,
can't you be
invisible
normal?
last minute per level.
Go get them, my friend.
It's a little less conspicuous, but really, who's
Well-
looking up to see a scorpion?
I think you might lose your. When you are polymorphed, do you lose your features? Like, does a familiar keep its special features if it's polymorphed or not? Is the question, I think.
I think
You
it's
know,
only loose-
I don't know, but I know you keep your mental stuff. So like,
Oh,
any
it's true.
class
I
stuff.
guess so. If you did B shape onto your familiar and made it a tiny creature, I feel like that'd probably be fun.
Yes, there are certain abilities that would be helpful
Yeah.
for transforming it. Either plan would work. You can decide which one you want to do, whether you want to do just randomly.
like-
Flying Scorpion.
I
of
feel
doom.
like it's more in character for Jacub to make a flying squid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I concur.
I mean, I could always cast Polymorph on it and make it something terrifying and then make it invisible. Even more hilarious. I think Polymorph lasts permanently. I think.
No.
There are some versions of Polymorph that do last permanently. Most of them do not.
Yeah.
The idea of
Yeah,
making
polymorph
it visible
lasts
monstrosity is
Minute per level's polymorph.
The true polymorph. Or
I
whatever
think it's
it
like,
can be.
yeah, Baleful Polymorph.
Yeah.
and
I think
Polymorph.
Bailiff
Bale
4 might be.
is the permanent one.
Yeah, that one's bad. Fun fact.
Yeah.
Yes, because it
Yeah, I think
turns
it's pretty bad.
permanent. It turns it
It's like a dog.
permanently into whatever animal.
And it would have to make a
That's
save
snail.
first mentally having that mindset too, which is the unfortunate thing. Which would kind of null and void a familiar, definitely.
It would remove your familiar. Yeah.
Well, no, it wouldn't. I mean, you could,
What?
remove it later. But yeah, remove curse.
Can you speak with
It's a
animals?
little bit more powerful to remove that one actually than remove curse.
Is it really?
Yes.
The restoration.
Greater restoration, I think, gets rid of Baleful Polymorph.
Damn.
Can
Yes,
anyone?
It sounds terrible. But that's when I would just kill it and bring it and summon a new one.
What is wrong with you? That's your pet. That's your like best
You're-
friend.
Yeah.
Well, I
Also,
feel like
I
there's a
think
clause
that-
that if you kill your familiar, it's gonna
It
like.
it
get mad at
technically costs you money, but you guys are
It
pretty
does
rich.
cost you an amount of money to get a familiar. pet.
Yeah, but it's cheaper than to cast like greater restoration or whatever. Like or
Have
remove
It
curse.
technically
I don't think it.
is.
I don't think at this level it is.
it. Probably not at this level. Yeah.
It's hard to say.
Hashtag
I would have to compare it. It may or may not be cheaper. I don't know.
Can any? I'm
Anyway.
saying this is if anyone can Jacub cast speak with animals.
I mean, no,
I
maybe
cast it?
no. I mean, I could if you gave me a day. I don't have it prepared now, but I can talk. I
know
can,
that speak with animal is the excuse for the DM to be a little fucking troll. But I feel like local animals might be helpful.
probably.
Does our bard know
if
it?
you can bribe them. with something.
Your bard knows a lot of spells, but doesn't know that. I'm gonna be honest.
It's a very specific spell.
Yeah.
The level 3 spell for bards. But like, yeah.
It would be weird for Twonky Bard to know.
I can.
I mean,
tell
he
you-
might. He might.
What
He's a
level
Maybe
you
he
guys-
likes
I
to
might-
talk to fish.
I don't think I've leveled him completely up. Let me see. What level are you?
We're
13.
level-
13.
Yeah, he's
He
two
should
levels
have
behind
mid-level
you.
spells.
He's level 11 right now. He's got 4th level spells, but he's got, if you really want to know what he's got Cause Fear, Cure Light Wounds, Hideous Laughter, Charm Person, Featherfall, Silent Image for 1st level, Alter Self, Mirror Image, Gallant Inspiration, Cacophonous Call, and Heroism for 2nd level, Good Hope, Haste, Charm Monster, Crushing Despair for 3rd level, and then Virtuoso Performance and Heroic Finale for 4th level. He would have technically... He wouldn't have 5th level spells yet, but he would have some more 4th level spells. Because I think 5th level spells happen at 14. I think I would have to check Bard.
Yeah, I think it is a potential idea to use a speak with animal to get some more information of the layout. Of course, you'd have to, bribe the animal with something.
I will
I
say,
feel
I
like
can speak in familiar,
It also
and I
has
see
to
the
be an
familiar
animal
can
that's
gamble.
been in there.
just like I feel like it's easier to just cast flying on the scorpion.
No, I was saying do both.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, animals are really stupid. Is the fun thing. So like, speak of animals hard to get really good. Unless it's about animal stuff, like speak of animals not gonna give us that good of information.
Yo, tell me all your animal stuff. What are you doing today?
Kind of birds are
Yo,
particularly
tell me seed
somewhat
shit.
more
Well, like I mean, like a predator or where water is or where berries
No,
are.
we're
Like
gonna
animals
make
do
that
that
today.
shit.
I mean, I would say the scorpion is intelligent. At this level, I think he has like a 7 intelligence, which is
Scorpion's
almost
mad.
as intelligent as Yaalkol at this point. No
Actually-
offense, Yaalkol.
Yo, a little bit.
And Tantus, actually,
He's-
Kakubar has one
he's-
5th level spell at 13th.
Well, he knows 2, but he's got 1 slot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
what's
sorry.
that?
You
Yeah.
get 6 intelligence at this level.
I was looking that up and making.
We don't have to just do that. I just said it could be useful. But definitely send the scorpion into stuff.
It benefits for him to be diminutive size, right? So I don't want to make it bigger.
No, smaller would be better because it would be able to scout
Yeah,
easier.
it's pretty hard to see something that's that tiny.
Okay. And are we planning on doing anything today? Like in particular, that you're like,
Doing the weapon, I don't believe so.
I just want to make sure I'm not like blowing all my good spells.
I don't think we're gonna kick in the Dorothy, the naval offices, until maybe we get a little more information from the thieves.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna give it overland flight, and I think greater invisibility only lasts for a round per level, or should I do normal invisibility?
I would do normal because it lasts longer.
It lasts a minute per level, so it's 13 minutes. I can like multiply by 1.5 and then 1.5 again. So 13 was now like 6, 19 was now like, I don't know. Do I add half of that on top of that? I don't know how that math works.
I would say probably normal invisibility would do. I mean, who's gonna look up and try to spot an invisible scorpion?
Yeah.
You have extend spell, right? So you might as well just extend it. You know, it's 50%
Yeah.
longer.
Well, so I can extend it and make it 50% longer, and then I have Spelltinker, which then I can extend it again by 50%.
You
Unless
can,
it says it can stack, it usually can't stack.
You know, it doesn't say you can't stack. It
And
says
usually I would assume it doesn't stack. As a general in Pathfinder. Things that did the same thing don't. I mean, I guess it's not a meta magic, but
it's not.
what's the item called?
It's Arcanist. What's that thing? What are these things called? Exploit called Spelltinker. So I think that would give me 13, 6, 19. What's another like half of that? So that's like 25 minutes.
it would double it. It would be 26 minutes.
Okay.
Because if you're adding 50%, oh wait, well,
Yeah, it depends on the orderage.
yeah.
I'm looking up the wording.
What's the name of the exploit again? Spelltinker?
Yes, sir.
Spelltinker.
I don't know, man.
I mean, I guess you can, yeah, by the way it's worded.
Yeah, I haven't played one of these in so fucking long.
So, but either way, it lasts 20 plus minutes, which is more.
Yeah, I mean,
Who cares?
I think you'll have plenty of time.
Okay, and then just in case, I'm gonna cast a contingency spell on it, right? Because I can share spells. Because I don't want it to be traced back to us, and then we get murdered in our sleep, right? You know, like I don't want that.
Yeah.
So we just have to teleport it back to Misty's brother's room.
I also have, I guess, a rules question.
Okay.
So, if I wanted to cast something to enhance seeing ability, would it need to be on Jacub or the Scorpion?
The Scorpion, right?
The Scorpion, because the Scorpion's the one that's actually seeing. Like when you look through the eyes of the familiar, you're using its perception and noticing through it. It's just you can see what it sees.
Which it is.
Yeah.
Either way, the Scorpion is going to have the invisibility test.
Wait, okay. In this case, I don't think you can see through your familiar's eyes like in 5e. But at level 13, which he is, he gets the ability to scry on his familiar. Otherwise, it's just I believe, a telepathic link.
If I can spell familiar.
I'm looking at it right now. So.
Oh, okay.
It also is a 12 in.
Because either way, one of them is going to get see invisibility.
Empathic link is first level, which is communicate telepathically familiar,
feelings.
but cannot see through its eyes. That's the feelings. Okay, yeah.
And they get speak with master.
Share spell, yeah.
But he gets the ability to scry on his familiar at level 13. So
I think
his
that's
familiar
what
is
it
just
is.
going to go there.
It
His
would be
familiar-
scrying though with his familiar,
Yeah.
using it as an area to do it. It looks like.
Well, and the biggest thing is the family's going to go there. It's going to scout it, and then it's going to come back and relay information to us. That's how I think it's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 12
Trying
intelligence. It's actually quite smart.
Trying would also would give a bonus as well to Jacub could observe.
Mm-hmm.
So I think at that point, I would probably cast see invisibility on, honestly, this board.
Do you have the ability to cast it on other people? Because I think it's a personal spell.
Is it personal? Oh shit, it's personal. Yeah. I might have. Hold on. I might have it. Yeah, I got it.
Pathfinder, baby.
I'm also very.
No, you're good. No, Pathfinder's just like there's so many
Yep,
different.
right. Yeah,
effects.
I would give heroism to one of them then, to give a +2 bonus to the skill check.
Ooh, heroism does that?
Heroism does do that.
There is a wizard spell which allows you to go through your familiar senses. It's a 4th level wizard spell called Share Senses. That's the one that you would have to use.
Well, we are resting tonight, and then so if you need to,
Yeah.
That's only a minute per level, though, so it's sort of like you let your familiar do its thing, and if you wanted to like connect with it, because I guess with your empathic link, which lasts a pretty good distance,
Forever. It's a mile.
yeah. So with
Miles.
if you're within a while, it could like give you a sense of like, hey, check send you like an empathic feeling of like this is now when you should check things out.
yeah, it's like I'm here. I'm at
I
the
will say-
location now.
For the rolls, I can just do the same thing on a person and then make them tiny for the same, like 30
Right.
minutes or whatever.
But
The same.
are you working on the familiar? And what you're doing with familiar? I think that's scoping out the
Yeah.
docks, right?
There
The
is going to
naval
scope
area.
out the docks and the outside of the building.
Yeah, so that's the naval thing. So you're probably not doing that right now because you're having a weapons test first.
Yeah,
Probably after the weapons test.
we got it like Ocean's 11 this shit.
Yeah. All right. So certainly the docks will be busy throughout the area, and you could easily get into the area where a lot of merchant vessels still are. You do get the feeling that the docks are fairly well locked down, but certainly not to the degree that perhaps you feel as though, because a lot of you have experience, especially with sailing and stuff, there are ships that are coming in and out. But the question is, what gives these certain ships permission, and why was, like, you don't know why necessarily you folks were specifically, like, being like, hey, don't leave, by the original, like, Hell Knights. Is it a Hell Knight versus Hell Knight thing? Was there a reason to keep other Hell Knights there? It does seem unusual that there are ships coming in and out, which will be noticeable. It seems as though the what's going on is happening farther out into the main harbor, away from most of the ships. Though when you're coming in, ships are kind of like heading in and out, and there does seem to be some trade and stuff going on. Things will quiet down, and there will be an actual lockdown of the docks with various soldiers coming in and basically, informing ships, you're not allowed to leave now. When everything is done, you will be given permission. You'll have to stay in the area, kind of thing. There are certain ships will be visited, but there are others that will just be ignored. Perhaps ships that know what's going on. There's a lot of questions about the activities that are going on here that fills you with probably more wonder than anything, because there are some. It feels like there's some like double speak or like differences than what you think should be happening. But again, there's too many explanations to know really what's going on. Anyway, where are you going to go exactly? As I said, you can go to other dock areas. The merchant docks is certainly probably the easiest for you to get into, the area where a lot of passenger and merchant vessels come into. You'd probably be closer to the actions if you would go to the naval docks. You have disguises that might allow you into naval docks, but you'd have to disguise again and go there. Or you'd you could try to find something else. Up to you. Question.
I think Misty might try and blend into the naval docks with disguise.
Okay.
As a note, for this day, for this excursion to the docks, I am going to have heroism cast on myself.
Okay. Are you going in generally the same disguise you already had, or doing a different disguise?
I will probably use the same disguise.
Okay. All right. How about the rest of you?
I'm going to stick with my same disguise because it's the only thing that I feel like is going to cover me.
Well, are you going to the naval docks with Misty, or are you going to somewhere that's a little easier to avoid notice, aka like the merchant docks?
She would specifically say she would want to do this alone,
Okay,
or with
then
someone
I'm
who
definitely
can hold a disguise.
I'm definitely going.
It might be called.
I can hold a bluff, but I can't hold a disguise.
That might be helpful.
I can hold the disguise, but I can't hold the bluff.
I
can
have
hold
done.
off some guys, but I can't hold this guy.
I've done a partial level for a Conquerbar. He can kind of do both. He's got a pretty good bluff, diplomacy. The bluff is not super great, but pretty decent. And then he's got a better disguise now. I give him a little bit more of that.
Well, I think a question is that there any buildings that could be perhaps gotten on to help, view this event?
Good question. Certainly you could maybe get on top of some of the warehouses and stuff in the area. That would be higher up. The highest springs are probably ships, but the ships are mostly busy. Even the ships that are locked down, most of them have sailors on deck. They're probably expecting to leave when everything's done, or they're, unloading stuff, loading stuff, things. So it's day. A lot of the merchant ships are just busy. So getting onto one of them, that's probably the highest thing you can go, getting up like their crow's nest.
Yeah. All right, hear me out. So,
This should be fun, right?
who has the far glass?
I think Chester holds on to it.
Okay, so if you can get to a position where you can
Scribe.
observe the naval offices with the far glass, you can clairvoyance.
Yeah, you can clairvoyance through the window.
Yeah. You can get a look at some of the inside.
Is that just once a day?
I think it's
I believe so. Pull it up.
once per
I think
day.
it-
Once per day, if you use it, can activate clairvoyance or whatever the other fucking word
Or
is.
clear audience.
So you once per day, you get 5 minutes of it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, how long do we have to this event? Is it today?
It's today.
There is
Yeah.
the event that's happening now is some form of naval test of whatever this new weapon is that's going on,
Okay.
as has been described.
We want to get someone into one of the crow's nests.
Yeah.
Why don't we just go up to one of these ships and be like, I'm looking for a job. I'm a pretty good sailor. Let me try out, because this event presumably is going to lead up to the docks reopening. So that's a convenient time in the first place. And I can talk myself into it, I think.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
So,
I would probably need a bluff check from you, honestly, if you were trying to talk yourself into getting a temporary job on a ship.
I'm going to pretend like I'm getting a permanent job.
Well, I mean,
I'm gonna leave
you're
the psychotic.
trying to get a permanent
Yeah.
job. It's technically temporary.
Yeah,
what
that's
I
funny.
mean. Okay,
Not bad.
20. Let me just I'll roll a die here. Let's see
I rolled
here.
pretty low.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So certainly, kind of walking aboard. These are very different vessels than you. They're merchant ships, and certainly these are actual sailors. You might look a
Yeah.
little ragtag, but they have uniforms. Even on a merchant ship, these are Chilaxian sailors. They're obviously
Yeah.
dressed. Granted, they're not like officers' uniforms like the person you're walking up to, but they generally have certain stuff that stands them apart. And I'm guessing you're not dressed like that. At least
I'm dressed in like average, chillaxing, and commoner clothes.
So the man, kind of like in the uniform, the officer will kind of like look you over and be like, well, we had most of the sailors we need, but a few more won't do us many harm. We won't be leaving until later on this evening. There's some kind of business going on, the rest of it. Why don't I... what's your expertise?
I'm a great sight, sir. I have really great eyesight. I can see for miles on the sea. But I'm good at basically, most things around on the boat.
Well,
I guess I should
have any experience rigging?
I have flashbacks to being terrible at it. I don't have a climb check. I have boots of climbing, if you remember. I'm not quite great at climbing up ropes, sir.
Well, I can't send you to the crow's nest then. We already have a spotter. But if you wanted to keep an eye out from the rigging, that would be a different thing. We'll send you below deck where you can get some work right away.
Oof.
Yep, that's fine.
Help secure some goods.
I'm just gonna talk my way up to the crow's nest.
Fair enough.
But that's not gonna stop me.
Okay.
Work your way from the bottom up.
Alright, you'll be sent down into help secure things in the hold,
I have several hours to work myself up into the crow's nest. Right?
Okay, how are you going about that then?
I'm gonna just lie and tell people, hey, I'm being switched up there, and I'm gonna just continue lying and lying and lying.
I can see no downside to this one.
Okay, please give me another bluff check then. We'll just try this here.
Yeah, I will cast a spell upon myself to enhance my senses in a discreet way, where it's only somatic. It's not even somatic.
Okay.
It's just a mirror. It's this spell, to be clear.
So you look
Oh shit, you look beautiful.
I have a +2 to this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
26?
So that's a
Pretty
28.
good. Okay.
28.
Not bad.
So.
Alright.
It's worse like that.
Alright. Doubled that.
You kicked off the ship. I think that's probably
Yeah,
the worst.
exactly. I mean, who cares, right?
Okay.
Whatever.
Well, if someone said that, you should report to who was in charge of the rigging. I have to remember the name of that portion on the boat.
It's the I don't know.
Ship rolls. I might have this here.
Master rigger, I believe is the term.
I think there's a
Probably.
Master rigger, yeah, probably.
I believe that was the term we had on our ship, at least.
I'll pull up the Dragon's Promise. It's probably gonna be the dude, what Cog was.
It might be boatswain.
So,
Boatswain is not.
that's what it is. Yeah.
Is it boatswain?
Is that?
No.
Yeah, boatswain. 100. Yeah, that's.
Hold on.
That's
Where's what's her face? Where's the sorcerer lady? She was the master reader. What's her fucking name? She was a sailing master.
They're in charge of equipment and crew in general.
Yeah, probably in the boatswain, I guess.
They probably do have a senior rigger or something too, but
Man, I could have just said I could climb, and I would just climb up there with the shoes. Yeah, well, because I just didn't think I could use the shoes to do it. But in retrospect, I could totally have used my slippers as spider climbing to do it.
Yeah, they wouldn't have known.
Yeah, I know. It was just me being stupid, okay?
Uh-huh.
It happens.
So they'll send you to the boatswain, who will be the officer you were talking to before when you came aboard the ship. Who's like, what was this?
I was just nervous, sir. I could climb up there faster than anyone else in the boat. I promise you, literally.
Why do you need to get up in the rigging?
Because I start to tell a story.
Okay.
about how
I always wanted to be a rigger.
My dad used to be a rigger on a ship, and then he was injured. And I kind of want to live up to what he did, and it's it's just a weird thing. And I don't have to do it permanently. I just want to try it.
Just roll
that one might be
bluff. Yeah.
27.
Okay, 27.
So pretty good.
Holy shit.
The man is gonna kind of shake his head a little bit, but kind of look at you, and be like, "All right, look,
A single tear rolls down his cheek.
He's
really
not that
vibes with
convinced.
it.
He's not that convinced. He looks like he's like maybe like this sounds stupid. He's got that look to him, but he's also
I
like,
admit it's a stupid thing, but
all right, look,
thing, you know?
if you can climb up there, you can talk to the Master Rigger, and they'll see if they'll take you.
Yeah, I will climb up there very swiftly because I have a climb speed.
That's only temporary too. It's what like a number of
It's 10-minute intervals, and I have like 5 of them, so I have like 50 minutes of climbing.
That might be at least a decent amount. All right. So you'll climb up, and you'll be sent to a certain man who's like, currently what they're doing is they're like securing ropes, checking lines, and basically making sure that the sails are in one piece. Basically doing a lot of like maintenance and check work currently in the rigging. So it's like, who the hell are you?
I'm here to try out for rigging or whatever I was told. Whatever you told me to tell.
I have plenty of people up here.
I'm better the fastest climber.
Nah, that's old Spider Hands Jimmy over there.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's try it.
That's Spider Hands Jim.
Spider Hand Jimmy.
I have a 20-foot climb speed, okay? I bet he doesn't.
He might. With a name like Spider Hand.
He might, I guess.
25, motherfucker.
He actually had his hands surgically replaced with.
I cast taste on myself to increase it if I must.
No,
obviously, I'm not doing that.
Yes.
I cast hold person on Jimmy.
Jeez,
God damn that
right.
poor Jimmy.
And he dies.
Why?
Terribly.
What did Jimmy ever do to you?
I'm just checking my spells.
Want to shoot him
See if
too
I
with a
would've
gun?
returned any. No, I couldn't. Oh, I should have casted Aura of Doom. So I made people run away from me if I wanted to.
Whoa.
That'd be funny.
A bit much.
I did, yeah.
There is a monkey-like humanoid who will kind of like come swinging over.
Oh God, he's one of these.
Okay, you know
he's a
he might be
Vanara.
faster. Okay,
I played one of those before on a boat.
God,
he specifically
is that
might be faster than
fireworks,
me, but
or is that someone's
anyone
car
else wouldn't be.
backfiring? What do you need, boss? This one here's saying
Okay.
they're faster than you, monkey, spider hands. I'm sorry, like I'm just gonna call them monkey hands, but spider hands. Yeah.
Okay, that guy is probably faster than me. I didn't realize he was literally like part.
Oh, it's
monkey.
fireworks. Just random people setting off fireworks at 10 o'clock at night. Love that.
Oh my God! Just imagine I summon a sea monster to eat him.
Please don't.
Oh God! No,
I'm
not.
always up
It'll
for
be
a
fun.
challenge if you want to race.
Yeah. Does this guy look like he has a natural climbing speed?
Yes.
Then yeah, he's faster than me.
He also has a prehensile tail. So.
I know this race.
Yep. Anyway,
I'm back. Yeah, well, I don't think I could beat him on a race. Unless
but I thought you said you were the fastest climber.
Well, I didn't think you had like a man that was like a monkey man. Okay, I'm the fastest climber usually. He specifically is faster than me. Takes a big man to admit when they're not the best at something.
Spider Hands here was a great pickup from one of our travels far off to the east here. Decent sailor, willing to take a job, and respectful of the people in charge of the ship here. Can't say a lot for a lot of sailors from here, and puts up with a lot of the crap we get from other places. So
Now he looks like he would do a great job at rigging. Honestly, it's very impressive.
I hear the distinct call of your average Chilaxian citizen, which I'm going to say I'm sorry that you suffer from that like so many of our initial sailors, but we'll get that out of you. Here on the sea, we travel to a lot of places. You have to learn to put up and shut up. You can hate whoever you want to hate, but keep it to yourself. You can love whoever you want to love. Still keep that to yourself. We don't ask questions. We don't want answers. We just want to get from one place to another safely, drop off some stuff, earn some cash, and have a good day. You understand? That's how this ship rolls.
I feel that. I feel that personally, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
I get that. I vibe with that.
Save it. Jimmy! Show the new one the ropes. You get your chance. Come this way! He'll come swimming around.
Jesus. Yep. Guess this is my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what he said. I understand. You know, a lot of people don't like a monkey person in this area.
No, you're really cool. I'm being really serious. Like, you're really cool.
No, it's okay. I know. But look, there's a lot of great people on this boat, so as long as I don't leave the boat most of the time, I'm okay, and I get to see a lot of great places in the world to travel.
You know, look, Jimmy, let's have a talk later tonight, okay? We got a proposition for you.
All right.
Dude, I want to take this guy with us,
We're
okay?
not bringing this monkey man
Why not?
from his home, his family, his
This
friends.
isn't his home. I asked him, does he have a family?
Sure. Plenty of us are out there. We like to travel a lot and sail around a lot.
Are you, are you attached to this job? Like, if there's a better opportunity they open up, would you take it?
Don't know. That's hard to say. I've always been, a good traveler. And these people have been treating me nicely. I guess, I can't say no, but certainly, definitely it's a hard thing to say.
I totally want to offer this dude a job. I don't think I will.
I don't think we can get him back.
No, we can teleport with him. If we could just take him, if you consented. Yeah, I will, I'll chat with you and be like, hey, in a couple days, meet me at this tavern. If possible, if you're up for it.
I'm gonna show up and we're not gonna.
I might have a proposition. But I'll continue to spend time with Jimmy.
Alright. Yeah, he'll show you the ropes, aka a lot of stuff you already know.
Literally, the ropes.
Literally, dude, I know all of this, and I know all the points where he's like inaccurate too.
This man's never wrong.
God Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
These are the ropes.
Thanks, Jimmy. I didn't notice. But yep, I guess I successfully have infiltrated. In retrospect, I probably could have asked to
There was
pay
an
to
easier
use
way
a
to
crow's
do
nest to view the firing, and that would have been a totally viable solution. But I thought of that halfway through this process.
This was a lot.
So it was a little late.
Definitely the plan.
You never think of the easy solution till after you started the hard one.
Did you want me to use the spyglass during this or after?
I think. I like after because the office will go back to normalcy.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find a decent vantage point on the docks, then see if I can get on a building or something, and use just the normal as a normal spyglass to see the.
There's plenty of warehouses, but I do have to say the docks are very busy. Getting yourself up onto a roof is not impossible, but to do it without being noticed, that might be a challenge.
Well, I have a 10 in stealth. I can switch my +2 to that and get a 12.
If you take Jacub with you, he could make you invisible.
Very true.
Jacub, were you coming to the?
Yeah, I don't know where
docks
Jacob's at.
anyway.
I don't know. I mean, you guys need me there. I was gonna stay back with Yaalkol.
But he goes at the docks too. There.
Yeah.
if you can make me invisible, I can get up on one of the buildings and.
Absolutely, I will make you invisible for 26 minutes.
Because currently it's
Don't attack anything.
Yeah. Currently it's
I'm not
Myste
planning on
and
it.
Conkabar are heading to the naval docks, while everybody else is in the merchant docks area.
Okay.
You can also cast,
docks.
I think, Mass Fly as a 6th level spell on you guys. It's a normal spell, so.
Well, we all can't be flying. That's like a bunch of people flying is a bit
It's a little sus.
just trying to
I mean,
avoid magical.
if you want to make me just fly, that'll make it easier for me to get up on the building.
Okay, you can fly for 18 minutes. I'm sorry,
Jeez.
18 hours.
Holy
Oh God.
shit!
Okay, then I'll just fly as high, really high up, and
I mean,
I'm
like,
invisible for a while
You're
too.
gonna
So
no.
I just use the. No, I'm invisible too.
eventually you might be noticeable, and or the fact is, like, if you're high enough up, it will be like a better angle, but you'll probably be farther away than like on the thing. Because again, you're starting out like this distance, and you're going up just like
invisible.
straight. Like certainly,
Why?
Well, there's nothing to magnify the light.
To be fair, though,
Just
we do need to look in the windows, which is kind of hard from like way up in the sky.
Well,
Yeah,
this is just for viewing the.
Yeah, that's probably fine.
event.
Yeah.
how will you
that's-
get down without people noticing you?
Well, I
Well,
can
he just
fly for
flies up
18
and down.
hours, and I would wait till the test seems like it's about to start before having him cast invisibility on me to go up.
All right.
There's like half an hour invisibility. I mean, like that's a lot of time.
That's a lot of time, yeah. That might be useful.
You only need like 20 seconds to really go back to the grounds.
The thing is, you won't know the exact time of the testing. Like, the people in the naval dock yard will probably have a better idea of when it actually is beginning, because there will be information going around. The people on the merchant docks will kind of, oh hey, it started kind of thing,
Well, the easy solution is just like wait till it starts and then fly up. You'll miss the first rounds, but you'll see the next couple.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine with you. That's fine with you. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine because
All
as long as I get to see most of it, that's what matters the most. I just have the best perception. That's why I'm like I want to get a good vantage point.
So, the docks are for we'll kind of switch to Myste and Conkabar now, because everybody else is kind of in place, unless Yaalkol and Jacub are going to do anything else. I don't really think there's anything.
Nothing really for me to do right now, so I'm just sort of staying out of the way.
Stand out of the way, maybe like looking out towards the water in hopes to maybe see something, I guess.
One day I will be of use here, but not today.
Anyway,
One day, Erik. One day.
Our plan B for when we have to kick in the front door.
Exactly.
Certainly, the naval docks are a buzz with activity. They're getting ready for whatever this test is, setting up like a dummy ship, a warship that was going to be scuttled / decommissioned. So they're preparing it for the test here. Probably one that they might have even like had plans to recommission it, kind of like take it apart, kind of rebuild it if they could, but
retrofit and shit.
retrofit stuff. But because of this, they're using it for the testing, certainly. But they're getting everything in positioning and preparing things, and the laboratory, which is like the naval laboratory / area where a lot of this stuff is being studied and development, is kind of on this one side of the dock areas. Where are you exactly going to in amongst the naval docks? You can be in with the general sailors or something. You could maybe try to get in with the bigger wigs, so to say, to get a better view.
I think Myste's main goal is to get, I guess, near the offices itself.
Okay.
Because he knows that there are already eyes on the weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And damn good eyes, because Chester's there.
Okay.
And to note, Myste has seen visibility in both her and Concubine of Heroism.
Okay.
So I just want to just try to keep myself, like, to use my disguise to blend in as just, like, general staff or guard who's, like, patrolling.
There really isn't a lot of Hell Knights, so it's probably not very easy on that end to kind of blend in, but certainly you could attempt to kind of at least be relatively quiet in your assessment of things, and kind of like, look like you're still like doing a job.
I just want to blend in.
Yeah, give me, I guess, this will probably be more of a bluff check. I'm going to assume.
Then I'm fucked and we're caught. Sorry guys, I have to bluff.
Yeah, like blending in, like acting like something is more of a bluff. If you just want to,
that's what disguise is for blending in and acting like something.
They're technically, they both have separate uses. If like,
well, let's read what disguise says in this check, right?
Disguise would be like someone just viewing you and noticing, basically. It's the difference between action and inaction. Disguise is very useful. I will need a disguise check from you, but the idea is, I would give you a bonus because you know what you're doing as a guard, of course, but the fact is you're not really supposed to be there still. That's why I would say it would still be a bluff to like act like you're supposed to be there being a guard. I will tell you, this is information I'm going to give you very easily. There is just a lot of people, trying to like take a view and probably, like interrupting their jobs. You could blend in with them probably a lot easier without a check.
So by what disguise says, Tantus, it is like disguise is opposed by perception, as in like your disguise goes against someone noticing that you're out of place. Bluff would be if someone sees you out of place and then confronts you.
Well, I guess okay. So I guess we'll give me the disguise now, and we'll see. Like, I'll have possibly
if
people
someone
interactions would be the
disguise.
37 disguise.
Okay.
Yeah, they're fine.
And I'll just
like that means they like the disguise is so good they blend into the environment.
Well, so, I mean, it doesn't mean people won't interact with you. It just means that when they interact with you, they'll interact with you being like thinking that you're a normal person there rather than suspecting.
And not suspicious, right?
Yes. Yeah. So, okay. You'll kind of just make the rounds as basically a checking things out, kind of like looking around. What are you looking for with Conkabar here?
So, assuming I can get near, like, the naval offices.
Sure.
Themselves. I'm going to have my amulet be pinging for secret doors.
Okay.
Or secret ways in. Or hidden ways in.
You will...
Escape route exits, things like that.
You will not detect any in this building. Or at least on the outside of this building that you can see. The main naval office is kind of like in the docks area, and it's positioned like in a kind of like a row of buildings that make almost kind of like a boardwalk of main naval facilities kind of here, with a like flank of ships out in front of it. Now, certainly this isn't like the only naval area, but like this is like kind of like the flagships of most of the fleets are kind of positioned here, and then the docks kind of spread out with longer docks with kind of like many other warships and stuff kind of flanked there. And there are a number of smaller buildings that kind of spread out into the entire district. But the main one here, kind of on the docks, is flanked by basically two, on one side, a quarter for, it looks like, officers who need to spend a night or something, and they can't, they're not staying on their boat, or they're not, like, going somewhere else, so a pretty simple resting place for naval officers. To the other side is a barracks of some kind. It seems to be the general guards of the entire area have their own like barracks here on the docks. Flanked in the middle of that, not flush to each other. There is like kind of like some walkways in between them, though they're not like major thoroughfares. They're like 2 people wide, people can walk between them thoroughfares, not like a cart between them. There is the large, nearly like I'd say like 4 floors high naval office with kind of like a almost built out of like this kind of like polished white marble stone that has a little bit of like wear from the ocean, and the top of it has kind of like this lookout with the Chilaxian flag kind of waving at the top of it, and a number of smaller naval flags represent the various different fleets. The building is also honestly armed, as they're very obviously kind of pointing out towards the sea 2 very large cannons.
Fair.
Slightly larger than your average you'd have on a ship, certainly.
Okay.
Like a bit of a heavier class. Probably not the heaviest that there could be, but certainly something a little bigger.
Okay.
You also notice that most of the windows seem to be facing the water, with a couple on the upper floors that seem to be on the sides and back.
You said there was a barracks?
Yes.
How guarded is the barracks currently?
Pretty guarded. It seems as though that the barracks itself is for a contingent of the city's guard that are specifically like non-naval soldiers that are supposed to basically keep an eye out on like everything in between the ships and stuff.
I want to observe one of the guards to try and memorize their uniform.
You can get a hold of their uniform. It's very standard Chilaxian city guard.
Okay.
It seems to be the same ones that you've seen throughout the city already. Not much difference between it. There does seem to be like some insignias that probably mark that they are in this district. Probably most of the guards have a marking that tells you what district they patrol and stuff like that. And these particular all have the same ones marking that they patrol in this area. Certainly a number of them seem to be on patrol here. But out front of it, kind of like in the docks area, there is probably like a couple dozen guards that are probably off duty that are, honestly, rather than getting a nap, observing what's going on, in between shifts. They're interested in it, and there are a number of folks from the various offices and stuff that are out there. A bunch of sailors are milling about, of course. Plenty of them are, probably ones that their ships are docked and they are not currently on duty or things like that, And as I said, there are more, areas in the district that is on land, too. A lot more places where there's, areas that a lot of sailors and stuff are head up. But this, these 3 buildings here are the kind of triumphant, we're facing forward on that. And there's also the main naval fortification, which is, if there is an issue going on, that's a little bit nearby, where the naval offices can relocate to a fortress that's actually nearby, because, again, this city is known for its many, many fortresses. But you have to, it's why it's the city of the 9 forts. But so it's the difference between work office and war office, basically.
Yeah. I think after observing the layout of the docks, observing the uniforms and the insignia, I would just try and find a place to then observe the test.
Okay. Conqueror is actually going to be chatting up with some of the sailors while you're kind of making your observations, and we'll kind of when you're finished up and kind of he'll come with you and be like, yeah, it does seem that a lot of the local sailors are very interested in this weapons test. It seems to be there's been a lot of rumors going around about the experiments and things like that.
Well, it's certainly not something you'd see every day. What kind of rumors?
Large noises, sounding like cannon fire going off here and there. Strange smells and noises of creatures coming from the laboratories. One of the main ships, one that was actually decommissioned and was going to be scuttled, was brought in and disappeared into the dry docks of the laboratory some months ago. It never returned and its pieces were not removed, so it's assumed that maybe that was used as the basis for whatever was being built.
Interesting.
Isn't the first vessel apparently they brought into the area. They brought in more than one before. Seems my asking that something familiar did come up. One of the things that they have been experimenting that we heard about was new types of ship armor.
Ship armor?
Yes. We saw an armored ship previously, did we not?
We did, right? It was like Dreadnought or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
It might just be coincidence, but of course it might not be. The rumor about the armored ships is they've been trying to develop magics not to reinforce the metal, but to remove the burden of the metal upon the ship without removing the strength of the metal.
That would be an interesting secret to kids.
Lightning metal without making it more weak?
Yes. Question. I know we sunk it. Did we ever have the Sea Elves follow up with scouting out the wreckage?
You did not.
Damn. We might want to try and do that if we can remember where we fucking sank it.
There's a lot of sunk ships in that area.
Yeah,
so
but I think at this point it's going to be very, very difficult.
Well, they're all going to be at like the bottom of that section.
Yeah.
No.
Damn, that would have been good to think of like 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, ships move pretty slowly at the bottom of the ocean.
That's true, they do. They famously don't actually.
I mean, you did a lot of damage to the thing too. Like, you were very successful at sinking it, so I assume like large portions of it exploded, kind of sinking. You know.
All of our ships are outfitted with a plethora of siege weapons and cannons.
Yeah.
Every ship has 2 cannons.
Yeah. And certainly that thing was like probably loaded with cannons. So I'm going to assume that maybe like even part of its
Powder hold try blue.
Yeah. Maybe not enough to like completely destroy it, but it's probably not in great shape. But you could, if you wanted to try to find it, I would allow you to, and there is certainly things that you could determine from it. But anyway, that seems to be the main rumors going around. Plenty of the sailors would like to see what's happening next. Another rumor that's going around is perhaps the entire Chelaxian Navy could be outfitted eventually. But some of the more practical men understand that more likely there would be a set few number of ships. Magic on that scale is expensive. And
It would be noticeable as well. Countermeasures would be developed.
Exactly. So perhaps a main fleet with a few secret weapons that could be brought in case of emergency. Certainly planning for something like that would be useful, but if most of the other ships are even still faster, lighter, and can have weapons that would be able to, counter any of your counters, etc., etc., the mastery of war, it goes a little beyond my expertise, of course.
I'm afraid war is not my expertise either.
As much as we've been successful in naval war, it is still.
We get lucky a lot.
Yes. And certainly then you can find an area in amongst the soldiers to kind of watch what's going on. So, it will be approaching... actually, why don't we take our break now before I do that? As people are like, Myste's popping off anyway, but this is actually probably a good time to take our break right before we do this. So, yeah, okay. So snack, drink, bathroom break, go ahead and do those, and we'll be back in a little bit. We'll take our break here, so let's skip. This conversation has gone really weird. Welcome,
Not as good as it could be, though.
welcome back. We were having a straight... Our conversation went in ups and downs over that break there. I'm going to tell you there. But we are back. So, yes. When I last left off, I was saying a test was beginning. So, the closed docking areas of the laboratory will kind of open up kind of some doors leading towards the dock area. And a boat begins to sail out. The ship is a masted vessel, certainly, very much so, looking initially, on first glance, like a large Schlaxian warship. You've seen these ships before. They are large, multiple banks of siege weapons on either side, crew of sailors and marines that are pretty elite. The kind of thing that, wins wars, or just destroys pirates very easily because they're often sent out for that kind of thing occasionally. But there will be some notable things that at least Myste, you and Conkabar will kind of notice at first. The ship itself seems to be almost completely covered in these kind of metal platings, at least as far as you can see above the sea line, the water line. It seems to also have the similar kind of platings on the masts, protecting the masts. And there's something unusual about the sails that are being sailed.
They also metal?
No, but they're seemingly not your average kind of silk or something, at least.
Okay.
Wait, what happens if the boat gets hit by lightning?
It's just fucked, dude.
They must have some stopgap for that. Sorry. Anyway, continue. My bad.
Anyway.
I just... Sorry.
It's the same as any boat that gets hit by lightning, honestly.
Well, no, but it's got metal outside, so like...
Don't worry, we can make the one thing that can sink any metal ship an iceberg. We can just make it.
What
Oh,
happens?
true! We could just summon
That's
one.
way too based right now.
What
Oh my
happens if a
God.
toad gets hit by lightning?
Oh shit.
I make
Fucking
make-
that goddamn movie.
I make a custom level 5 cleric spell called Summon Iceberg.
I think it'd be
That'd be a druid.
that's like
Either-
that's like a 9th level druid spell, actually. I'm
If
sorry.
you declare your ship unsinkable,
No
take
way.
double damage.
It'll last for rounds per level, okay?
That's not an iceberg is not rounds per level, dude.
Yeah, it's a temporary iceberg. It's small. It's a small iceberg.
Look, the
like,
iceberg would
you know,
certainly
large
be
fire.
temporary in the shackles.
I will need perception checks for everyone that is watching out.
Do I get some
39.
sort of benefit for being in the crow's nest?
You do get some not penalties, basically.
Just say 80 minutes yet.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna be flying up and
Yeah,
looking.
would you
So...
say it's been 80 minutes?
Oh, only rolled a 4.
Jeez, good roll,
I'll say
Momo.
no, not 80
Then
minutes.
that's a 41.
Okay.
You know what, Chester? Before you
Good
leave,
roll,
I'm gonna
dude.
give you it's
Fucking-
insight
You've got the best eyes.
Alright,
What was that?
Before you go up there, I would have given you bestow insight so you can reroll
Oh, nice.
that perception
Okay.
Man rolled a fucking 4, Jesus.
with the +5 insight bonus.
Oh!
That's worse.
When you're-
But,
when-
no, but with a +5 bonus, that would actually be better.
When you're destined to fail.
High. You get +5 for both of them. We just take the highest.
Oh, okay, so then 35.
35. 35 is good, but
35's
it's not a
good.
41.
41.
it's not a 41, though.
Yeah.
I tried, dude. I tried to make you. You have a 20-something perception. I'm sorry.
20.
Yeah, I rolled a 4 then a 3. I mean,
My mind expands as I see everything.
So,
You see
the
a
two
god.
people that will be seeing things are going to be Myste and Chester. And I'll just kind of, because both of you are pretty close together, I'll just kind of talk about what can be seen. So certainly there seems to be a crew of people that are manning the ship. A number of riggers up in the ropes and stuff like that. And from what you can basically both see, the ship seems to have, like most of the warships, 2 banks of weapons on either side. All of them are cannons. That's the first thing that you'll notice. Full banks of cannons on either side of the ships. Which, it does tend to be a little bit unusual. Usually, for most warships nowadays, there might be like at least maybe 1 bank of cannons, or even a partial bank. Just it's hard to completely outfit, and so this is the first thing that you'll notice. The next thing you'll notice is that certainly there are sailors about. There are also about a half-dozen things on deck. Things.
What do they look like?
Strange metallic humanoids.
Oh, okay.
that
Oh.
are double the size of any sailor.
Do they look similar to the clockwork constructs we've seen?
Yes and no. There does seem to be something uniquely a little clockwork about them, but they also all seem to be kind of like emanating like white smoke from them.
Okay. Interesting.
The first thing that happens is they kind of get in position, and the first test is a full volley of 2 batteries of cannon fire. This one seems to take aim not directly at the ship, as this is almost like kind of testing like a full double volley, but tears through the target ship's masts, aiming high on purpose. It's very obvious they are aiming high, basically.
Okay.
But it's basically to show off a double barrel of like
Broadsides and shit.
like a full broadside of 2 banks of cannons, of over a dozen cannon shots into an area, which is pretty impressive at first. You know, that in itself, you've already seen some impressive things. The next thing is both of you will observe the strange creatures will start to kind of move, and as the cannons are reloaded, they'll kind of take and put their hands down, each on 2 of the cannons. After about a few moments, the cannons will blast out again, this time with a thundering that is much louder, echoing throughout the bay, as the top bank of cannons will blast out and tear into the ship, basically devastating this like this old warship, kind of ripping into it with much more force than a cannon fire would be. Like multiple times greater than anything you've seen but cannon damage before. And I'll tell you that Chester, you get a little bit more sight about it. There was definitely something oddly magical about that. The cannons themselves, because you have like an upper view, glowed, and there did seem to be some kind of connection with those things on the deck.
Interesting.
You will also notice that that after the shots are done, fires will start on what's left of the ship. The ship also took severe damage from that. Probably just one volley would not be enough to necessarily sink a single warship, even one that's mostly decommissioned. But they did some massive amounts of damage, and fires have started aboard it. After a little while, certainly, again, Chester, you do have a little bit better of a view, so you'll notice this a little bit more. There'll be a little bit more on deck, where something will kind of open up on the top of the deck, and a cannon, if you can describe it that, will be kind of drawn out from below deck. That is best described as something that normally wouldn't be put aboard a ship. This is like something you put on a fortress because it's very large.
Right.
For this test, it will be turned on a pivot, aimed at the ship, and then the mechanical men will brace it as it fires. The entire ship will lurch a few feet back, and you will see strain from these mechanical men as this one will punch a massive hole in the ship and begin to sink it.
That's frightening.
I've seen worse.
You?
I mean,
I bet if we
you're saying that
shot
to
Yaalkol
Conquerbar.
out of
If you
ship,
say
it would work.
if you say that with Conquerbar there, Conquerbar might be like, "Really?"
Don't say that. No.
Afterwards, the vessel will take its sail back to the docks. There will be lots of cheering and elation and stuff like that, and certainly whatever's going down in the laboratory will be discussed with this test. At least of seeming its main weapon systems of this ship. As someone that does know cannons, you're pretty sure that's a... you have not seen a bombard... You might have seen a bombard that large once before.
Okay.
Like...
I've worked in fortresses before, yeah.
So, like, that would be some kind of thing, like, the largest cannon you could put in a Chilaxian one. But it did seem a little different of a model than the one you'd see there, but it was just as large. It's the kind of thing that you'd fire those to, like, deter enemy navies from attacking, and they do a lot of damage, but the angle does seem to be a lot better for this one, because rather than having to arch it and go down onto a ship, that one can seemingly aim for the waterline of a ship. A little bit more dangerous at that level. The magical cannons, that's kind of frightening. And just a lot of cannons in general, also kind of frightening.
A little bit.
So. And the test is done. And things will quiet down. The docks and the merchants will eventually resume things. Things will be cleaned up. The Navy will take some time before things truly does. A lot of the soldiers will be like... There'll be whisperings and speakings, and a lot of them are pretty loudly talking about this, questioning what's going on and kind of things like that.
Okay. As a spectator who's not actually watching this, but as like a person that's heard your story, is there a way that we can steal that giant cannon?
No.
Honestly, the lot of you who aren't Chester or Myste would have very much so heard the large booms, and honestly, the last boom, which exploded the side of a ship, was very visible to even Yaalkol would have seen that, you know, and Jacub. Big boom happened, very obviously.
There was big boom.
Biggest boom, dude. You see that?
I took a big boom.
Anyway, but you can meet back up then.
Well, while I'm at this vantage point and still have some invisibility, I might as well use the spyglass up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you spying on?
I guess I'm going to use the clairvoyance on the window to the...
I'm going to tell you this now. You don't actually know which office in the giant building filled with offices, which one you're looking for.
So maybe I should wait then.
You never found that out, you know?
Well, I can always check it out tomorrow.
The suggestion was more looking through windows to get a layout.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll do
Did we get
that.
a rough layout? I thought these gave us a rough layout.
They
Am I
gave you
mistaken on that?
They gave you a rough layout of like the basic. They gave you a very rough layout, kind of like here are the couple of like the basic like hallways and the floors. Here's where a bunch of rooms are. What are in those rooms and what they mean, you have no idea.
I mean,
Yeah.
Chillax
Must be
standard
difficult.
like evil villain or kingdom, right? Like the top floor, and if it looks like it's gaudy, that might be the place.
I don't think they are really that gaudy.
No, they're just horrible.
Yeah, they're not really that gaudy. They're really horrible, and like there are a number of basically armadas. So there are a number of admirals, and especially in a city like this, probably about half a dozen admirals are stationed. So you would want to get the correct one, because this isn't the entirety of the Chilaxian Navy. This is like maybe a third to a half at any time. So certainly, probably some of these naval offices aren't being used because some of those admirals are out with their fleets doing things.
Makes sense.
But
Then I'll just use the spyglass and try to get a general idea about the outside and see if I can peer into some of the windows.
sure. Certainly, it looks like the windows that are on the second and third floor are offices, from what you can see. Most of them are. There does seem to be a couple of rooms that might be offices or maybe meeting rooms. you do get the feeling that there's a lot of space that there isn't windows. Things like offices and meeting rooms where it doesn't matter if you have a window. Okay,
Right.
Things that might be more important or more secured apparently are rooms that don't have windows.
That's fair.
Could you watch a hallway and see if like people come in and out of a certain area more than others?
I don't think I have that much time to.
Yeah, we're kind of on a.
And the thing is, it allows you to see where you're at, so you'd be able to observe like into one of the rooms and watch the room a little bit more exactly. You can like peer in there and be like, I'll watch this office. There seems to be someone in there, that kind of thing. And the person you're looking for is not in their office anyway right now, certainly.
Yeah, she's reading people.
Yeah, talking about like, hey, look at this thing that I'll bring at least one of these to test out in my big old attack. Isn't that cool? You let me do my thing without complaining.
We should fucking steal it if they send one.
Come on, cuz.
No, we just need to steal the ship.
Yeah, cuz. Cut me some
If we could
slack.
if we could try to sink the ship, that wouldn't be bad. But I feel like that's gonna be nigh impossible.
Are you really the best pilot here, Cap? Like that.
Also, sinking it in the bay would just delay.
No, once you you're not gonna.
No,
I mean,
it's
with
fine.
magic, you might be able to. Or covering a broken ship is gonna be like
I do think
hugely difficult.
there's
Not when
discussion-
you have fiend,
Maybe.
I do think though there is a discussion to be had about destroying that lab before we leave.
Yeah, I mean. So,
Is it
are
ship
we
like
good
that?
enough to say we can regroup, Tantus?
Yeah, I think we
Yeah,
should regroup.
you'll be regrouping back at the end.
Cool.
I'm gonna kind of
Sounds
say that. Yeah.
Did I'm assuming everything the weapon on the ship seemed like a powder-based weapon,
Okay, so
right?
They're
we'll discuss.
There did seem to be powder-based weaponry. The only time it was questionable,
Mhm.
there did seem to be reloading, but
Mhm.
the second volley, which seemed to be magically enhanced, might not rely as much on powder. That's a question about that one. Which certainly they were like 2 or 3 times more powerful, which is still pretty powerful. But again, it's cannon fire at its first, a massive bombard, which is meant to punch holes and stuff, and honestly, just that sucks.
Yeah, 'cause presumably the ship came directly from the lab, right?
Yes,
So it must be on the coast.
Presumably, and there's a dock in there.
Is it dry
the
dock?
lab was approximately 500 feet from where you were hanging out. I'm going to say
Yeah, so we.
it's
All right.
it's in
I-
but it's in the naval area where all the naval ships are.
I think
I wonder if the lab has a dry dock specifically.
we have just a wet dock too.
No, but to build a ship like this, you'd definitely have to be with the
Well, you have-
magical enchantments to it. You'd have to do a dry dock.
right? Because it sailed out, and then it went back in, right?
Yes,
You guys are can't.
Yeah, but yeah, it doesn't make a huge difference between a wet or dry dock. But they're both on the coast.
Yeah.
it has some kind of docks at least because it is
It's to
developing.
connect to the ocean.
Yeah, it's connected to the ocean. It's It's a weapons lab for naval technology.
The one thing is that the one thing about it is that they might have fiends watching the laboratory,
Yeah.
which would be a little problematic.
We need to make that decision if we want to get in.
Because I've seen high-level fiends have that naturally.
Usually they have even worse true sight.
Yeah, true sight.
Yeah.
I could summon a demon with fucking true sight.
Yeah.
I've seen devils have it too.
Yeah.
But okay, we're back at a bar now.
Yep. You're back at the bar now.
Yeah.
Secret room.
Mhm.
We're in our room discussing.
Yep. You review everything that you've seen. Anybody that wants to ask questions to the two people, I could see what they would know. If you want to follow up on that, if they want to analyze things for their memories or something like that, or if one of you wants to make a check based on what they said, Go ahead. Discuss.
I would like. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. You can continue. I'm taking.
I was gonna say like if you guys tell me what you saw, right? I would like to ask like, did you guys notice like probably how long it took to set up and fire that giant mazer gun?
How long ago would you say?
It wasn't normally on the deck, and that was the most defining moment of it. It looked to be, honestly, using against like another ship like that is probably not the best use of it, but it's a test, you know.
Yeah.
It looked as like it was maybe at least partially preloaded. So
You're probably going to use that more for a stationary target.
yeah. That might be
You
like
probably only have one shot with it.
during a battle.
In an
Yeah.
actual battle.
That might be like a fortress buster, where you like destroy part of a fortress and open it
wall,
up.
yeah.
And open up for your
Shoot
marines.
the gates.
Yeah.
True.
It could also just be like we need that one ship, like the flagship of the enemy, taken out.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's. So I wonder. So I think we need to. I guess we need to bring this information back to Rio, because Rio has. No wait. Do we have anyone in our group that actually has craft ship or shipwright or whatever? I'm assuming that's.
Rio is a ship carpenter.
Yeah, but it's gonna be different than
Ship,
some of that
yeah, that's not quite a shipwright. A carpenter is
Yeah.
good at repairing
That's
stuff.
like as close as he is to a shipwright.
Yeah.
The only shipwright you actually know is honestly Rickety Squibs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna have to get a ship. Talk to a shipwright to help figure out like a design that we can add to our ships that might be able to help alleviate these cannons. Like
See what kind
maybe
of
an
be-
angling of wood or metal
Let's see what
plates
kind
or
of be
something.
Thinking for a bit, kind of silently thinking.
I just
do any of you have local? I'll allow you to roll local.
Yeah.
That's something.
I will actually move my bonus from my perception
Uh-huh.
for right now over
I
to
was moved on at this
my
point. Just be fair.
local.
Thank you, Jesus Christ.
Smart.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm probably not going to get that high now.
No.
I have one thing, all right.
We have two people here who dumped a lot of points into the
Yeah, I get with the bonus I added in, I get 12.
You
That's fair.
so Misty, you
Mhm.
kind of saw those things, but you didn't go to quite view. But some of Chester's descriptions, when you go to you, there is something that you do realize about what you're hearing about. As someone that's a master of firearms, you know that they originate from Alkenstar. You know that Alkenstar also manages a type of construct that's very different than any others. Steamwork constructs
Oh fuck.
that
Those are
don't
steam.
they naturally don't normally rely on magic, meaning that any kind of magic that's added to them could be done with something else like special weapons and stuff, because their main
Yeah.
power source isn't magical for steamwork, because they could work in Alkenstar.
This constructs are from Alkenstar.
Okay, but would they
Powered
be
by
immune
steam.
to magic, like magical constructs are?
Possibly.
They're
Is
not
there-
magical.
They may have resistance.
Is there a chance
Well,
that
if-
the ship is a construct?
Probably not.
They would. I got to be honest, because of their nature, I'm pretty sure they're treated a little differently. They would probably have some. I'd have to. I don't know if they've got the exact stats for the Steamwork Alkenstar constructs, because they only talk about them. Steam constructs Alkenstar. They might talk about in the Outlaws of Alkenstar book. I'd have to try to
Yeah.
look those up.
Misty will kind of turn to Revia. How big of a sea monster can you summon?
I can summon a adult sea dragon that is capable of taking down gargantuan ships relatively easily.
How many times can you do that?
I can do it once. a day for about around equal to my level.
Not bad.
But I also have the Baylor, but he will only fight demon or devils. I have this
Like I'm going to tell you, the adult sea dragon, just because if you compare it to something like a dragon turtle, would possibly be able to take on a ship of that size, but would still have trouble with it because it would probably be considered a colossal ship, not a gargantuan one. Warships are colossal. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it could do some damage, and it could be a problem. It wouldn't be able to very easily sink.
Oh,
it.
it's not a sea dragon. Sorry, I meant the sea serpent.
Oh, the sea serpent. Still, it's the
same difference here.
Yeah,
The
same
sea dragon doesn't have the. I'll read you the ability tangents, and you can tell me afterwards what you think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it has to be of its size or smaller, and it's a gargantuan creature, so if it's colossal, unless someone can enlarge the sea serpent.
I don't know how that works.
If you could enlarge the sea serpent, unironically,
it's
we could
not a
capsize
person, so you couldn't enlarge person.
No, but there might be. I don't know. Is there other spells that can enlarge? Is it
Enlarge,
monster?
reduce. Enlarge, reduce.
No, but it's enlarge person.
Yeah, it's a large
Oh.
person.
Enlarge reduces enlarge.
Am I thinking? Oh.
Yeah, you're thinking 5th edition.
You're thinking of 5e, where
Yeah.
it's just enlarge. Is there a large monster?
No, there's not.
Not really, no.
In large monsters though.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way to do it then. Is there
Um,
large monster?
Oh yeah. There's only large person.
Can I enlarge a magical beast? I have enough
Thinking.
cleric levels? Oh wait! I can enlarge it. Wait, no, it's personal, damn it.
Oh, there is a large animal.
It's
Not
not
an
an animal.
Wait,
It's a magical beast.
What spell do you have? So
If we got a scroll of it somehow, we could cast Righteous Might on it, which does increase its category by size category by one.
I mean, you
Well, that's rounds per level.
At least there should probably help you out with it. But
It's only a personal spell, which is
yeah,
why
I can cast personal transportation spells.
Yeah, I don't.
It is a transmutation spell. It's a level 5 cleric spell.
It's the other. I'm sorry, just to note it. The only other unfortunate thing is if I manage to find some of the Steamwork, it's probably gonna be 2nd edition stats because Outlaws of Alcastar.
Alcastar doesn't have first edition stuff.
Oh, okay.
2nd edition book that.
What level
they
spells
released
do you have?
6.
6. Damn it. Legendary Proportions is a level 7 Arcanist spell. And it affects a creature. So if we had Legendary Proportions, we could have done it. And it would have increased its size category by 2. No, only by 1.
Find a bunch of pigs with boars for
Yeah. That's unfortunate. So it can't capsize it with its ability, but it might be able to take it down still. It just can't use its capsize ability.
Are there such things as like different elementals in this world that are like marked standard? Like, is there like a meta elemental?
There's a list of elementals.
There's a bunch of subcategories, yeah.
I mean, could you potentially summon like an elemental subcategory that could like, cause earth elementals have like mold earth. Maybe they have something
Mold
like that.
metal.
I don't know.
There is, I think, a metal plane. I'm pretty sure there's a sorcerer line for it, or a wizard school.
That's
I'm pulling up the list of elementals.
found my next character.
I don't believe
Metal-
there's a metal.
Yeah, there's a wizard elemental school for it, but it doesn't look like there's stats for elementals. It's a non-standard school. That's what it is.
Can you summon a rust monster?
You
That's
need a lot of
actually-
rust, though.
Yeah, it's actually such a good idea. If you could summon like dozens of them, but I don't think we can.
Just like YOLO and be like, hey guys, nice shit.
That's
we
a good
got
idea.
there."
It would certainly work though, because rust monsters do destroy
Dude,
magic items.
man. If only we still had that door.
No one
Oh my
expects-
god, dude! If we had the window,
If only
we
we
could
still
just.
had the window
Yeah.
and door. We could just eliminate this ship.
That would have been so good.
We don't.
I didn't want to use it. You judged me.
So sad. We might be able to get one here. to be
Yeah,
fair.
can we buy a robe of useful items?
We can talk to the Thieves Guild.
Oh my god.
We
Would
might-
it even work though? I mean, it would, right?
It would flood the ship.
Oh my god.
It would put a hole in it.
I feel like there's no way that works because then like
It'd be very
if we-
slow, but
It would unfortunately be very slow. It'd be similar to any other kind of thing.
Okay.
And as long as it's noticed, they could maybe repair it.
Well, no, but if we did that, put the thing and then we summoned the sea serpent to attack as a distraction
Yeah.
and attack the ship.
Hear me out. We buy
The thing is, you say it's distraction, but there's a group of sailors, so it's kind of hard to distract all of them, kind of thing, you know?
Well, I feel like most sailors aren't gonna like run down preparing a ship if they're being actively
I
attacked.
feel like the giant sea serpent
I mean-
appeared.
Usually water coming in is the more important problem, I'm going to say, than, you know, the thing attacking us, which might cause water to come in.
Jesus Christ, they have a plus 23 to hit.
Hear me out. We buy a bunch of decanters of endless water, right?
Shut it. Alright, anyway, move on to the next idea. No offense.
Wow. Just
Wow.
dismissed out of
Hey,
hand.
man, this is a think tank, all right? No idea is it wrong.
No,
Mhm.
no, there are definitely wrong ones.
Well, I don't think we can. Unfortunately, I don't think we can sink or destroy the ship here.
Yeah, unless
We don't
the
have the powder
Baylor.
and- Yeah, I don't think the Baylor's gonna do it.
Yeah, unless we can get a level again. Unless we can get a level 7 spell, I don't think it's gonna. We could do it. Or Righteous Might would work if I had the ability to cast personal spells at touch. But I don't know if I don't even know if there's an item for that.
Yes,
Well, I
we'll
guess-
deal with our ship when it comes. Then.
What we can do is get a bunch of robes of useful items and give it to the sea elves to all place windows at the bottom of their ship.
I
Like,
mean,
it's gonna-
I'm gonna have it not
I'm
work at all if
joking,
you're gonna do
obviously.
stuff like that. That's going too
I'm
far.
joking,
Yeah.
obviously.
joke.
It's not a great joke though, because it's like it's taken it's memeing a lot. You know, the robe of useful items kind of thing is like it's for like funny things. Like I've kind of allowed a lot of it, but it's like you're at this point in time, it's just disregarding everything. So I'm kind of gonna have to say like I'm gonna maybe say that it doesn't work because maybe it has to be on like an actual like surface window at appropriate or door would appropriate to go on, which has to be flat. And unfortunately, a boat is curved. So I might just rule that, just because, like, as funny as it is, like, and useful in a lot of places, it's the unfortunate thing, like, I've memed the idea of it, but, like, I really have to, like, you know, especially in this type of game, maybe
Well, the
I'd put
biggest
my
thing
foot
is just
down.
like swimming creatures that can't keep up with a moving ship. They're moving at way faster than a swimming creature's radius. Anyway, so like
if you have the sea elves do it, like they have things like ride. They have the animals that ride that are just as fast as the ship. You know, it's like again. I think like it's not a. I like the idea of the robe of useful items, but it's sort of like it's unfortunate. I don't know. I feel like I have to
We
like.
weren't gonna. I'm gonna be real. We weren't gonna do it anyways.
it's memeing.
I know, but it's sort of
True.
like why don't I think at this point it's like just like let's not meme it about it. Anyway,
The
what else we
more
got?
efficient thing would be, Misty, or attempt just to make a really fucking big ball. To
Drop
when
like a
we
bomb on it. Yeah.
to when we face off with this thing, we try to transport this bomb onto the ship. Just detonate it that way. Because that ship is going to have a
Oh.
lot of powder and a lot of explosives on it. So if we
Can
get a
we
big
get, like,
enough
napalm?
bomb,
So you're telling
napalm
me-
exists in Pathfinder.
Yeah,
It's
why don't we just
alchemist
get... Yeah, well, why don't, yeah,
Why
we
do
could
I
just make a
have
giant...
Misty
alchemist
can make
firebomb.
Misty can make alchemist fire. She
Like, we
has
make a
crap.
giant one, and we like supercharge it, right? And then just their deck
It would be very
burn
expensive.
continuously. Yeah, but I mean, like,
But we could. Maybe this is more of a bomb we would plant. Because if presumably we're gonna board this fucking ship.
yeah. Well, our primary goal is to sink that ship. Fair.
Yeah.
So, I
We
think
also
yeah, we can.
have
Yeah.
we also have the magical cannonballs as well. We've
Yes,
never
the
used
adamantine seeking ones, which will punch a hole into their ship.
them. We still have those. So I think that warship is dealt with eventually.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll definitely be able to deal with it. We'll
I
take
don't-
some damage.
I don't know if
but
it's
I think
really break into the lab unless you want to get more information on it.
I don't think breaking the lab is like possible. I'll be real.
No. So I think our plan is just wait for Thieves Guild information and then go to the offices.
Yeah. And I guess we have to, maybe, yeah, we'll talk about, I have other ideas later.
Okay.
We have to wait for the more information first.
Yeah. Certainly, if you are going to wait for it, I can let you know that you will get a a familiar-looking individual who's I have to reference this
Is it a
name.
halfling?
No, it's not a halfling.
The other guy?
It's another guy. That's the wrong place where I have notes because I need to reference this because I don't remember names because I'm terrible with them. A Mr. Lorenzo.
Yeah, okay.
Will kind of show up nonchalantly as you're kind of hanging out at the bar, you know, hanging out with Eliza, you know, and you know, maybe chatting, catching up a little bit, enjoying some drinks and food, a little bit of jaunty music. Again, probably the most. It's like, I gotta say, like, as much as, like, the Asmodean people would like to, Chelaxians do have actual culture that actually probably has, like, you know, upbeat and, like, friendliness and stuff like that. It's just, you know, a little suppressed. So, you're at a place where it's, like, a little bit more open and, like, traditional, nice Chelaxian music is probably playing or something like that. You know, some upbeat stuff that actually exists in their culture. You don't get it very often. There's places you can find it at. Remnants of the old ways. Anyway, he'll kind of like saunter up to the bar and kind of like order a drink and be like, where's the big one and the smaller one?
Yeah, they're somewhere.
Don't think... Did I actually ever ask their names? I don't remember. Did they give their names?
They probably lie very badly about it anyways.
Yeah, was it like Mavia and Palcool?
Something like that.
Alright.
Yeah, that.
Well, I need to speak to them. I've a message to deliver.
I don't know, where would they be at?
If we're not, like, out, we're probably in, like, the tavern.
Yeah.
Like,
I point to the corner where they're edgily sitting.
Edgely?
we sit at the bar, okay? We're bar sitters.
Uh-huh. You're edgily sitting at the other end of the bar. Just, you know.
I presume Yaalkol and me are bar sitters. Sorry to presume for you, Erik.
I'm a sitter where everyone's hanging out. Yaalkol is definitely a follower when it comes to sitting at the sitting. So usually he would be at the bar with you.
Yeah, then we're bar sitters.
Mavis! Paul! Good to see both of you.
I don't even, like, look at him because he didn't say my name right, so... I'm just not paying attention.
He'll come over, kind of like put a hand on each of your shoulders and be like, how are the drinks?
Sorry, who are you?
Mavis, don't you recognize me?
Who's Mavis?
Just go with it.
No, I just actually don't remember who this guy is.
Crap.
He's your contact.
Oh!
Yeah, someone from the
Okay, hi.
our friend.
One I told you to find, and you somehow messed that one up.
Yeah, you're really
Please
bad
tell me
at
to
things.
I mean, the only way how was I supposed to find it?
Hey, we found your hidden bar. That's pretty damn good, I think.
Yeah, you get pretty pissed off about that, which is kind of funny.
Please
Anyways,
don't speak of that again. This can go worse than it already is.
Alright, what's the deal?
Thank you. Down to business proper. At least one of you has some sense in you. Alright. So, I have some more information about what you're seeking. There was some asking around, some information gained. And a lot of information is very difficult, but I do have something that's particularly helpful. 3rd floor, east side, 2nd door from the port. That might not be the only place you want to look. 1st floor, center of the building. That's enough on that one. They, keep some things. That also might be helpful. Got a very nice library. Well, I hope that helps.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, thank you for your patronage. Please never come back.
Yeah, you too.
He'll kind of like give like a salute to you, Misty, and then kind of leave.
I give him a wink.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not gonna salute me.
Man, guys, they were really mad about that.
Yes, you broke
Kinda
into
funny.
it. It's pretty rude.
I mean, like,
I mean, we had no other way of contacting them, so I don't really care.
I mean, I did not say anything about it because I thought we were invited there.
Don't just break into someone's house.
just consider it professional, like courtesy. Like you found them, and therefore you out thiefed the.
First, they tried to mug us.
Yeah, the
Let's
first
be-
thing
let's-
they
let's
did
cut it
when they
straight.
met us was they were trying to
It's
blackmail.
not like they were like all kind to us. They literally tried to mug us.
Well, they tried to blackmail us, not mug us.
Yeah,
Same difference.
Regardless, we have the information we need, though.
Until they say they can all go to hell, but they already live here, so I mean,
I mean,
how much worse they can go.
I'm also fairly certain if they were actually going to like blackmail us, they would have just turned us in for money. They gave us an option of making a deal with them rather than not doing that.
Yeah, well,
Is
because
that
they wanted
better?
more money.
No, but is
No,
it
no.
worse than it could
Well-
be? I don't know.
No, that's not how blackmailing and mugging works. If they just turned us in, they wouldn't make as much money. If they blackmail us for money directly, that makes them way more money. Right? You don't like turn in the person you're trying to extort because then you don't have anyone to extort.
Or you just don't blackmail me. I just that's what I say. If they're asking my opinion on this one, I generally hit people with a hammer when they blackmail me. I just didn't do that because we're here.
So what's the plan for getting in?
How many people have blackmailed you?
None.
Too many. Too many.
Well, you see,
They
the people
usually
that
die.
have it, there aren't many people left.
Yeah, none of them are still yet living.
Huh. You were saying, sorry.
So do we think the seeming plan works still? Or do we have reason to suspect it wouldn't work?
Well, it's better than kicking in the front door.
Oh,
Thing is,
we wanna-
If it's not kicking in the front door, I can't help.
Only thing is, if there are fiends, then they're most likely going to see through it.
Are they likely to just have fiends that powerful watching this office building? That feels unlikely. I feel like the fiends.
There's a bunch of
Yeah.
assholes there, so.
Maybe it's a really nice office.
That's true. But if there were fiends there, we would have no way of getting in there other than through force anyway.
I think it's a risk we should at least try to take towards the end, because we can always try to escape and never come back. But if we pass up this chance, we might miss out on some crazy stuff.
I'm not saying it's not worth a shot. I'm just saying there could be issues.
Yeah, I'm not worried about issues. I think.
How quickly
I
can
think-
you get us up?
Well, let's see here, as I pull out like my notes, like I don't know how the spell works off the top of my head, and I scroll through it, and I look up word of recall, and I actually look up word of recall because I forget how long that takes.
Don't you have teleport?
Yeah, but word of recall just happens like if there's one that's like emergency something where it's a cleric spell that just brings you back to like your designated temple if something terrible happens. It's almost like a
What's it called?
I have to look at it. Sorry, I'm pulling out my spell list right now. I wrote it down a couple sections ago and I have not used it since. Hey, give me like 30 seconds. I'll be right back to you guys. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
As Jacob goes and scrambles through his notes. So presuming we can exit within a quick moment of time, I think going in and trying to be diplomatic about it would be smart, and then if that fails, we just run into the room, collect everything we possibly can.
One standard action.
What does that mean, Jacob?
Sorry.
Six
when-
seconds.
When
That's
you
it.
practice
That's
your
one moment
spellcasting,
at a
it's
time.
One moment at a time. Yeah, so like you can just do it. You just have to be within, like really close, really touching the distance.
What is a standard action?
You guys ever feel like your life is just blocks of 6 seconds and it's sequential order?
I feel that all the time. Yeah, it's really weird.
There's a lot of timing involved in spellcasting. I'm like, if people who just do it because their god gives them, I gotta practice the time, and if I get the timing off, I can.
Sorry, you do realize I have to
Just
practice
doing
it too,
just
right?
in the background.
I've never went to new practice.
Because
Name
I
one
just-
practice.
Go.
okay, I medit. I like think about it in my prayer. Like, why do clerics don't just get all the powerful spells instantly?
Oh, I'm
That's
sorry.
part of the learning process.
I thought you were just really talented. What's your god's name?
Well, I am talented, but it's also like skill.
Yeah, this kind of sucks for if you're roasting her. Gotta be honest, dude.
I'm not trying to roast. I mean, I don't know. Hey,
You just think clerics just get like willy-nilly? They God just like, oh, you get power, you get no. There's work involved.
I mean, who's that demon lady that was here that one time? She just did things, and I think she was a cleric.
No, she was a wizard. That's a wizard.
That's a crazy wizard. I should call her.
You're wizarding.
I should call her.
I don't think you got the right thing out of that, Jacob, honestly.
No.
I think, Jacob, for a self-conscious guy, you're very judgmental.
I'm not judging. I just have a lot of.
You are.
I figured that you just did things like because you're my kind of person, just get things done,
I too.
and I'm really jealous.
Why?
You're different.
So I practice
getting
the sword
very
play,
off
the
topic.
magic. Anyway, I think the plan is teaming. I will, I guess, lead up the face conversation, and we hope it all goes well.
Well, I
Any
think
backup
the plan-
plans we want to discuss?
I think this plan is
Misty
seeming
will
well.
put her glass down, and out of her glow of storing will summon a musket. Yeah, this is the backup plan.
Any
See,
I
that's
like that
that's what
plan.
I like to hear.
Can we make that plan A?
No.
No, it's plan B.
are any
It's
of you
8.2. How about
Always
that?
plan B.
It's 8.2. Okay.
Okay, so I can put that spell into like a scroll in case I get like knocked out. At least we have two things to deal that can cast them. Because you just said right.
Yeah. It's what level spell is it?
6. I don't think you can cast
Okay, it is on my spell list then.
Yeah, it's 6 level cleric, oracle, druid, psychic.
It's on my spell list. I would have to roll to cast it, but yeah.
Well,
It'd take you a while to put it on a scroll though if it's that high level. And a lot of money.
Yeah,
Take me a whole day and a half.
take a bit of time.
Could you even
Actually-
scribe it since it's not your spell?
Candace said I could scribe one spell because of my lore master stuff.
Yeah, you're a lore master. You work
Oh.
different.
One time.
And hold on,
Fair
I
enough,
have a list of spells that I was scribing on the journey here. And I'm pretty sure I spent all my money on. So it was. No, sorry, it wasn't that one. Sorry.
Okay.
Got it.
Then let's sleep and prepare our spells for tomorrow's mission.
Hmm.
After this, do I get to be a secret agent?
Yaalkol, I need you to stay very quiet while we're doing it.
You know, yeah,
I mean,
cool.
like, yeah, sure, but like right now, I can ask questions like, will I be a secret agent after we finish this mission?
Yes, we're all secret agents, and we all did a very good job.
Sweet.
You can add that to your resume.
Look, the last time I broke into a government building, I burned it down. So you're gonna have to lead on this one.
Okay, you know.
Well, honestly, I don't mind the burning it down part, but let's
Yeah.
talk about that later.
Gotta be honest with you, burning it down is kind of awesome.
I hope no one's listening to what we're doing. Fudged.
I assume we're like in our room, not just in the tavern.
Just in the bar, at the bar. Hey bartender, do you want to hear about us?
I can commune with my god to ask if this is a terrible idea or not.
I don't know if she's going to answer, honestly.
Don't ask him.
It's
Don't
not
worry, I'll be ready in case of emergencies.
Well,
I haven't shown
my
off
deity
my
or agent of my deity.
my greatest new abilities. Behold! As he'll kind of like make a gesture, and a shadowy second Conquerbar will appear next to them and accompany him on a massive set of music, as they'll activate 2 bardic performances, one from his Shadow Bard and one from himself.
I'm talking to Rio.
But
That's actually kind of cool.
less jokingly, if anyone has questions we want to ask a outer planar creature, I can have the commune spell.
Yeah,
Fair.
ask if they have anything they can see invisible creatures. What you say?
I don't. See, the thing is, creatures like these aren't omnipotent. They just don't know everything. So they can say maybe or I don't know, and then move on.
Ask your god where Yaalkol's dad is.
Nah, that'd be
Without
funny.
Terrace is right next to us. He was concubine the whole time.
Yeah.
He was concubine. That would be impressive.
Not true. It's not possible.
Okay. Then I will change that 5th level spell. It seems like there's no need.
It's usually a bad idea to talk to a god.
Well, it's a commune spell, so it's not that weird. It's literally a normal 5th level spell.
So question to all of you, because there's one more 5th level spell I can choose from Conqueror. Do you want something funny that he can do, or something combat-y that he can do?
For the means, for the means, for the means.
Yeah, he's not a combat very often, so it means.
Alright, then he can also get you out of a jam right away. He will know the spell Bard's Escape.
Link it? Wait, what?
Uh-huh.
Link it?
You didn't tell me it was the most base spell.
Dude, don't link it. Just have it be a surprise.
What is this spell? You and up to 1 willing creature per 2 caster levels. He's level 13. So that's 6. Well, 7.
Mm-hmm.
6. Including him. 7 including him.
And it doesn't have to be in line of sight or line of effect from his original position, and he basically then just uses a dimension door without line of sight or line of effect.
Any other space
If
within.
you don't describe it as him grabbing like a handful of sand and dirt, be like, ninja!
Why not?
Oh,
Well, the material component's pieces of a smashed fiddle, so it's sort of like, fiddle dust! Just like the
fucking pocket sand.
pocket sawdust!
Okay, for my 5th level spell, I'm gonna take the spell evil, and that might be useful.
Evil.
But
Might-
if it's not,
might
then
be.
it's not.
I'm gonna take Summon Monster 5, because that would be a good distraction. I'm gonna take... Teaming. I need that for tomorrow, right? Teaming?
Yeah, we need Seaman.
I thought you said
That is
teaming.
one of the things that we...
Teaming.
We're just always kind of afraid.
With what? Don't ask.
Teaming with awesome.
Alright. I have my spells prepared.
Yeah, before we go to bed, I will cast Overland Flight on myself, so I have at least a couple hours of flight tomorrow.
Okay.
That's 26 hours? That should be good. No, sorry, that's 8 hours.
I will prepare for tonight. As he pulls out a scroll then, I asked a friend of mine if I could get this. Do not worry, I will be ready for us to be going there. As he casts his spell from there, as then he'll cast the spell, and you'll see all of a sudden a bunch of spiders will appear around him. Go! Do not worry.
What
You never cease to
spell
amaze
did you
me.
cast?
I have recruited some scouts to check out the building for us.
That's
Why didn't you mention this earlier?
Yeah, it seems pretty obvious that's what he was doing.
You never ask me.
Yeah.
You never talk.
We
Last
were in a
time-
group talking about scouting ideas.
I was down
You
in the
didn't
bar
say
last
anything?
time you were talking about things.
You'd know his abilities if he played cards.
Honestly, you're right. We should have been in a group talking about why you never talk to Conqueror. I think maybe a lot of his behavior is him lashing out because you don't talk to him.
No, he's
Ignoring
just
your
choosing
fun.
not to speak. He's an equal member.
The best part of D&D is gaslighting.
Welcome to D&D where we
First we
gaslight.
gaslight, then we girl boss, then we gatekeep.
Girl boss so hard, I'm now level 13. I hate
So,
this.
insect scout. I actually didn't even know about this spell until I was looking at spells here. One insect scout by 4 levels. He could probably summon 2 because he's using a scroll and not his cast world. I think that's not 12. That'd be like 9th level when he would be able to get that or something. So they spend 1d6 hours investigating the target location. And travel up to 1 mile per caster level to rejoin the master. Each insect side is fine. They're spiders. No one will really care about spiders, I've got to be honest. There's probably a bunch of them in a large city. But he now has memories of structural flaws, defenses, alarms, which basically he has 1 reroll on a failed check. So he's 2 rerolls on stealth, disabled device, or perceptions in the area.
That's rad.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's wicked.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, we have a scroll of gaseous form we've never used.
You do have just random stuff sometimes that you never use.
Scrolls of fly, potion of shields.
Scrolls of fly, I've been using my normal spells.
We'd rather use your normal spells for non-combat days than the scroll.
Probably. Like, I'm thinking about if we want.
Oh my god. So the real plan is Conqueror uses the pipes of haunting to scare all the guards away from the office building.
Let's go get
I just like
guns.
the idea that the pipes are just normal pipe sounding, but to them it
He's
sounds
haunting.
so to us it sounds like he's playing a fucking flute, and to them they're just like terrified.
Yeah, well, it probably doesn't work because the creatures guarding this place are probably more than 6 hit dice.
Probably.
How do you know for sure unless we try, eh?
It's true.
People, though.
They did be unaffected.
Look,
Let's
it
try to
doesn't
bully
take
them.
a lot to cause a mass panic on normal people. And yeah, you can have a bunch of DAs over there, but like if like the rest of the normal staff starts freaking out, they're gonna be distracted.
Anyway, let's not do that. But I do find the idea humorous.
It is a funny idea. All right. Anything else to set up for the next day?
Good. No.
All right. We can get at least an intro. So, you assemble yourselves. So what are you doing to this? Are you just like walking in? Are you breaking in? What the hell are you doing, and when are you doing it?
We're gonna go. When are we gonna go? I guess that's the important question.
You ever
Yeah.
seen an anime where we just break the front door?
Noon.
We don't do that.
Is there any benefit to going during the night?
Yeah.
You might not be there.
Yeah.
You know, when
Probably
breaking into our office.
So probably at night.
My ring could be useful if need be.
Yeah.
Let's go! We can lightning ball the
Yes,
people.
we're gonna be teaming as dock guards or naval officers or whatever.
As naval officer, if we're running, we have to go grab things from our office that are important right now.
Before we get hung tomorrow because we forgot it, and I don't want to do that. Cause
The question: does anyone have alter voice?
Is it a cleric spell? I don't think so, right?
Might be. Jamie, don't know. Because multiple of us have heard Drevelius speak. And we have seen what she
Voice
looks like.
Alteration.
Yeah.
It's a bard, inquisitor, sorcerer spell. Wizard spell. Alchemist as well.
I don't know that one. I don't want to wait
No.
my once per day to like.
Yeah, I don't have it. But if we knew that spell, it'd probably be very good for this.
Don't have it,
Very
sadly.
unfortunate.
I don't think we're looking like her, though, I think, specifically. We're just kind of like other guys. Because I think we're going to break into her office, specifically.
Yeah.
We just need to get into the door.
It's
I'm
like
trying to see if...
for all guys as like officers.
Yeah, I think we just look like officers with the seamings.
Perhaps going over some late night. Perhaps going over some
Plans.
last minute plans.
Yeah. We're all having a drink, but then we forgot these, documents.
Okay.
that are important to our discussion. I mean, that seems like a reasonable enough thing.
Allow me. So you're sending Conquerbar in there first, and Conquerbar, I have to make sure I remember these abilities that he has because they have them.
He would be heroism if he needs it.
Maybe.
You could just bardic performance fascinate them.
He's going to use his spell song, and as he enters in there, to everybody in the area, he's just going to mass charm person everybody.
That's amazing.
And he's going to use spell song so he can hide it with just be like, like giving out some little things there and hide the fact he's basically charming everybody. Anyway, I'll roll some stuff here. Some d20s on some random dudes. Let's just say there's like 5 dudes in the entryway there. Let's just see some dice rolls, and then I might have to look up some stuff. Okay. So, still, that is a 4th level spell. Alright. And then I will roll a diplomacy from Conquerbar. Wow, he rolled a 4. What did he have bonus? You gave him heroism?
Yeah. Heroism, so he's a +2.
25. Okay. He'll be like, greetings! I have been assigned to help with some materials here at the docks. These are my people accompanying me. We had a meeting with one of your officers. I believe they should be in their place. I cannot remember exactly which officer, he'll give a name and the person will be like, I don't remember someone of that name being here. I might have the name wrong. I apologize. I'm from out of town, hired on to help with work in, fixing up some things here. Of course, I can show you some of my good designs if you are interested. He's like, do you know which office they're supposed to be in? They were working for one of the admirals. Do you know the name of the admiral they were working for?
I'm trying to see if Conquerbar wants me to say the truth or lie. Like, what vibe am I getting?
What vibe?
Probably the truth at this one time. Like, he's talking about like an officer who works for someone, in his perception.
You actually know as a player.
Yeah. They work for, I insert admiral name that I personally can never remember.
Juvelia Thrune.
Yeah, Juvelia Thrune. There's so many Thrunes in my notes, it's all mixed up.
I should remember that. She is the same name as the royal family. I did not realize. Is she related, the admiral, to the queen? Yeah. Look. Look, buddy. This is late at night, right? You're going?
Late at night.
Yeah.
I don't think they're supposed to be up there. Admiral Thrune has an office on the 3rd floor. If there's an officer working late, they may be working in one of the offices on the 2nd floor that's working for them. I can send someone up with you to check it out. Would that be acceptable, that we have an escort to see if this officer that we are supposed to meet is here? I apologize that it is late at night, but we come in late. There was the delay with everything happening. What happened with all that over there? Nothing for you to be concerned about, sir. You there. And someone who obviously looks like really great about this, like, oh yeah, hey, I can help you out, come with me.
That's acceptable.
Wow. Look, I've heard some great things about your new architects, They've been doing some great things to help out Cheliax. It's really awesome you guys have kind of decided to ply your work here, and, I hear some things, but honestly, you guys prove some great things about you. Yes. Let us continue on our ways.
Yeah, as a note, Misty is full intimidation mode at this point, not saying anything, just trying to be as intimidating as possible so the ship moves along quickly.
But we get in, right?
Oh, you get in. You're taken to the second floor currently. So you're on the second floor. The place is pretty quiet. There are some guards around, but most of them are kind of just basically on some basic patrols and stuff like that. Certainly here on the second floor you can see that. And you're taken to basically like a, kind of like a small, I would call it more of like a scry room. That probably lesser officers that need to have some kind of office that don't have an office assigned can work at. It's a windowless room with a couple of lamps lit right now, and there is a person working in there, a woman dressed in obvious naval officer outfit that seems to be doing some kind of paperwork. And why don't we leave it there as you've partially infiltrated? You have your charmed man with you, and then you're in a place that is technically a floor down from where you really need to go. But you're through the front door. So...
Yeah, we might have to resort to conflict inside, though. Although maybe Conqueror can help out. Can you send a screenshot of a spell list?
I mean, Conqueror might be able to convince this guy to take us up to the third floor direct.
Well, I think I can try that pretty easily. I have a higher diplomacy than Conqueror.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good diplomacy, but he's also got this dude charmed, so...
Yeah, so he might have bonuses because he's already charmed.
I think charm works for allies and you. I don't know Pathfinder specifically.
I would have to check the charms. It
doesn't matter for this exact second.
Makes him a friend and trusted ally. So, like, they treat Conqueror directly as an ally, but if your allies are your friends' allies too, it's sort of like it's the same kind of thing, you know.
Okay, so yeah, you'd be able to diplomatize him.
Yeah, it's the friend of my friend or something, you know. So he'd probably be friendly towards the direct diplomacy, but you know, yeah. Turns out the one person who was the one that had an indifferent attitude, or the person that made the save, was the guy behind the thing. The DC was 20. He rolled a 19. He had at least a +1. I'm saying. Everybody else failed. So he charmed a bunch of people. But yes, we'll leave it there. There you go. You have a bard. I'm basically remembering you can use your bard. I'm giving you stuff for that. You specifically brought him. I might as well have him do stuff for you.
Well, we brought him because he's specifically good for doing this
sort of thing. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah.
Because bards are naturally good at this.
Yeah. He's not good. So. Anyway. We'll give some shout-outs and stuff. Erik, do you have anything to shout out?
No. Chillaxing, relaxing, all cool. You know, catch y'all later.
Yep. Henry, anything to shout out today?
No, but I only asked the chat to vote to see if I should transform Yaalkol into something horrible for the memes. Next session.
Do you mean to hold like a poll somewhere? Should Yaalkol be transformed into horrible monstrosity or something more practical, less practical? I don't know.
Always.
Yes.
That's the thing. The practicality will all be decided by Henry's ingenuity. It's just whether or not I'm turned into a monstrosity or something not necessarily monstrous.
Momo, anything to throw out there and shout?
Discussion tabletop. You can catch me there.
Cool. Sel.
Warmonger finished up, which is cool. We have an epilogue next week at some point.
Ooh, epilogue.
And then we're gonna do a short campaign. It's gonna be like a. No, I don't think it's been announced yet. So.
Neat.
Doing something.
Yeah. And Joseph.
I'm here.
You technically are. It's a miracle of miracles. I wouldn't have thought it.
I'm actually just a figment of your imagination.
That explains a lot.
You got a twisted imagination, man.
I look, you know, I DM a lot. I have to have one. You know, it's an unfortunate part of having to be in charge here. It's like I just gotta twist and come up with dark craziness. Anyway, all right. So, who's out there? Densnare Van Dracovin, person in charge here. Schedule for those of you that are interested. You can check out every Wednesday, 9 p.m. EST for this show here. We'll be probably I really am thinking we're going to finish up the Chilaxian part of everything next week. There is little chance we won't be. Something crazy could happen, though. I don't know what you're all going to do. I'm going to assume it's not crazy enough to prevent that. But you never know. So, I'm not saying 100% definite. But probably. End of this phase of things. Tabletop stuff. Other than discussing tabletop on Saturdays, every 6 p.m. EST. I talk about tabletop Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. Tomorrow, I'll be talking about Absalom, the country of it. You can learn all about that. That'll be a cool one. For some Galarian world lore. And then Saturday will be some World of Darkness stuff. Gaming stuff. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Friday will be Spelunky 2. Gonna maybe finally beat that game, at least the base game. I've been bad at that. And then, yeah, I think that's the main schedule. Check out all that kind of stuff, etc., etc. I think I can say, everybody, have yourselves a great rest of your evening. Remember, check out stuff, Discord, Twitter for my brain ramblings and schedule. I have the YouTube channel. Make sure to check that out. This will go up on there if you're watching it there. Great. Watch us live on Twitch. The two different things there. Follow Twitch, subscribe YouTube, like, share, comment, all that kind of stuff for that one, all those things. Anyway, farewell, everybody. Have a great rest of your
Bye-bye.
Wednesday, Thursday. Anyway, bye.